Imagine standing in the middle of a vast desert where endless sand stretches beyond the horizon and there is nothing but silence, heat, and time surrounding you. At first glance, it feels completely empty, as if nothing has ever existed there, except sand shaped by the wind over thousands of years. But what if beneath your feet, hidden under layers of dust and time, there was something far more complex and ancient waiting to be discovered?
Fact Trails.
Something built long ago, something carefully buried, and something we have never fully seen with our own eyes. Scientists are now beginning to believe that entire structures, possibly even large complexes, may still lie hidden beneath these deserts. For thousands of years, deserts have acted like natural covers, slowly burying the remains of ancient civilizations under shifting sand and protecting them from the outside world. Cities, temples, monuments, and entire cultural landscapes may have been lost not because they disappeared, but because they were simply hidden beneath the surface over time. In places like Egypt, we have already uncovered incredible structures such as pyramids and tombs, but what we see today might represent only a fraction of what actually exists. Because for every structure we have discovered, there may be many more still waiting below the surface, completely untouched. Today, modern technology is transforming how we explore these ancient sites, allowing scientists to investigate the past without even digging into the ground. Instead of relying only on traditional excavation, researchers now use advanced scanning techniques that can detect shapes and patterns hidden beneath the sand. These tools allow them to see underground structures in a way that would have been impossible just a few decades ago. And what they are finding is not random or natural, but something that strongly suggests deliberate design. In recent years, scientists have identified unusual formations beneath desert regions that appear too organized to be created by natural forces alone. These formations include straight lines, geometric shapes, and structured patterns that resemble walls, rooms, and even large-scale layouts. They are invisible from the surface, yet clearly visible through advanced imaging technologies. And the more researchers study them, the more they begin to look like hidden architectural remains. Some of these underground patterns suggest the presence of walls and chambers, while others hint at entire complexes that may have once been active centers of human activity. It almost looks as if something was intentionally built, then later covered and preserved beneath layers of sand. In some cases, the way these layers are arranged suggests that the burial may not have been entirely natural, as if there was a reason to hide what existed below. This leads to an important and fascinating question about the nature of these buried structures. Were they simply covered by natural processes over time, such as wind and erosion, or were they deliberately concealed by the people who built them? In certain locations, evidence points toward intentional burial, with layers of material arranged in ways that seem too structured to be accidental. This possibility adds an entirely new layer of mystery to what we are discovering. One of the most intriguing areas of research lies near well-known ancient sites, especially in regions surrounding famous Egyptian monuments. Even in places that have already been studied for decades, new scans suggest there may still be hidden structures just beneath the surface. Structures that have never been fully explored or documented, hidden only a few meters below, yet completely invisible without modern tools. To uncover these hidden features, scientists rely on technologies such as ground-penetrating radar and satellite imaging, which allow them to map what lies beneath the ground. These methods create detailed images of subsurface structures, revealing outlines and patterns, without disturbing the site itself. In many cases, the results show surprisingly precise shapes that strongly suggest human construction. And sometimes, these images appear almost too perfect to be natural. Straight lines, right angles, and symmetrical layouts begin to appear clearly in the data, forming patterns that resemble organized design rather than random geology. These are not chaotic formations created by nature, but structured arrangements that imply planning, effort, and intention. Carefully built, carefully placed, and now hidden beneath layers of time. But what makes this discovery even more intriguing is that some of these structures do not match what we know from historical records. They do not align with the timelines or civilizations we have already studied. Instead, they suggest that there may be more to ancient history than we currently understand. Not that history is incorrect, but that it may be incomplete. Because everything we know about the past is based only on what we have uncovered so far. And if large portions of ancient structures remain buried and unexplored, then our understanding is naturally limited. There could be entire chapters of human history still hidden beneath the surface, waiting to be revealed. There is also the question of time, because some of these buried structures may be significantly older than the visible monuments above them. They may represent earlier civilizations or earlier phases of construction that were later covered and forgotten. Layer upon layer of history, stacked beneath the ground, each one telling a different story. Despite these discoveries, excavation remains a slow and careful process, as archaeologists must balance exploration with preservation. They cannot simply dig everything at once, because doing so could damage the very structures they are trying to study. As a result, much of what lies beneath remains untouched, preserved in silence beneath the sand. For now, scientists must rely on indirect evidence, such as scans, data patterns, and imaging results, to understand what might be hidden below. These clues do not provide complete answers, but they are enough to raise powerful questions about the past. Questions that challenge what we thought we knew about ancient civilizations. How many structures are still hidden beneath the desert, completely unknown and undiscovered? How many cities once existed, only to be buried and forgotten over time? And how much of our history is still waiting beneath the surface, unseen and unexplored? Because deserts are not empty spaces. They are vast archives, holding records of human history, preserved beneath layers of sand and time. They contain stories that have not yet been told and structures that have not yet been revealed. As technology continues to improve, scientists are getting closer to uncovering these hidden layers of history. They are seeing deeper, scanning further, and identifying patterns that were once impossible to detect. Each new discovery brings us one step closer to understanding what lies beneath. But with every answer comes new questions, and with every discovery comes new mysteries. Because the deeper we look, the more we realize how much remains unknown. It becomes clear that we may have only scratched the surface of what truly exists. So the real question is, how much of our history is still hidden beneath the desert, waiting to